welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Y254 TV. I am your host, Cheryl Blessing, and this is the Powertalk show. This evening, we're having a relationship talk where we're getting into some of the signs that show your relationship is just about to end or the end is near. So I want you to go on our social media platforms as we continue with this conversation with Wangari and Glantwill. Go on our platforms at Y254 and let me know what are some of the signs that you took note of just before your relationship ikaisha. Ama beshte yako, ama, you know, like any conversations that you had before the end of the relationship came. So go on our platforms and we'll get back into that. For now, I want us to watch a video because, hey, we've come across this video tukasema ambagui watu wa kuheartbreak. Mna heartbreak everyone. So let's watch the clip and then come back and talk more about it.
Imagine staying with someone, you're there for her, then all of a sudden she starts saying, I'm looking for someone. As if you have become a dog. Now she's looking for a modo. And you drive the modo. And you are there. Always there around. Imagine staying with someone, you're there for her, then all of a sudden she starts saying, I'm looking for someone. As if you have become a dog. Now she's looking for a modo. And you drive the modo. And you are there. Always there around. Imagine staying with someone, you're there for her, then all of a sudden she starts saying, I'm looking for someone.
Ndo ifike point yenye mbaba ametengeneza video akapost. I feel like I came across a post over to the women we have today in Nairobi have become like our fathers. So sisi ndio heartbreakers. Wanaume wanalia. Men are crying about being heartbroken and sijui nini. But foundations za relationships zetu aziko stable. Case in point, so many relationships have ended recently na tunasikia the reason infidelity. Huyu alikuwa na cheat, huyu sijui amekuwa na watu wangapi, huyu sijui nini. Glantwill.
Do you actually know, watching that video, it's funny but it's sad because the man was in pain.
He is.
His voice.
His voice, anaumia, ni mbaba na anaumia. Sasa imagine, baba ya mtu. So imagine sisi 22-year-old, 23, 24, 25, 28. But it's really sad that that's where we are. But at the same time, when we talk about infidelity, to may normalize. Like right now it's a flex. You know, sleeping around is a flex. And nika tunataka kucompete, wewe umelala na wangapi hii wiki? Mimi nimekupita, mimi nimefikisha 15 huko na 10 and stuff like that. And I think that's the major problem, because another thing is we want to be in actually relationships zenye tuko ndani ndo zinaleta hii shida yote. Because one minute we are together, we are just two, it's exclusive. The next minute we want to spice it up. The minute we are spicing up our relationship, obviously tumeleta another third person or a fourth person or fifth into the relationship. I'll obviously want to have something with them when you are not there. That's the reality. Wakati ya huko niko like ebu saa tujaribu tukiwa tu sisi wawili na huyu ama na ule ama no evil. And that's how we end up keep cheating. And the problem with this is after all that is done, we still want to bring back the people we have. Tunataka tu tukae nao now accept the fact that I can cheat and come back home.
Si nimerudi home, especially that.
At the end of the day, si mimi ni wako, nilishakuchagua.
Ati wewe uko na marriage certificate. And even that phrase of kugongewa ni constant. Hey, Wangari, hii ni Kenya gani tunaishi? What's going on in the nation? Because infidelity si ati wanaume tena peke yao.
It's both.
It's both ways. Women are cheating even worse. Alafu sijui kunaendaje. Is it because we have too many options? Is it because we are online alafu tunaona watu kila saa? What's going on?
I also don't understand what is happening, because now it's not cheating, it's now cutting across both genders. I feel people don't appreciate the person you're with, or he or he doesn't appreciate you, and probably you don't appreciate him and his efforts, because men are so fragile. They have an ego that we need to massage, you know, often. Those words of affirmation, you're doing well, you're good, you know.
You feel seen.
The same case with women, we need those act of services, sometimes gifts, the flowers, the bouquet. We have seen it's like a viral thing. Everyone is having a bouquet of flowers. So when we overlook such things, such acts, those words of affirmation, gifts, or whichever thing that makes your partner feel happy and appreciated, then we look for these things from a different party. You start seeing your office girlfriend anakujanga na tundoma. You see tundoma na Stanley cup. So the first thing anakuangalia kwamba uko poa leo, aki si we share this, and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and before you realize you people are looking forward to see your office mate on Monday. Yani umeona mtu anasherehekea Monday because of tundoma, tungwashi.
Paka yeye mwenyewe ndo anajipasia nguo.
Yeah, because you know those are the things that maybe anashangaa huu wa nyumbani yake sasa hata hakuna. And it's interesting when you're starting a relationship, when it's on fire and you have those things. Unatengeneza hata 2 omelets mzee akule. And then 6 months down the line, you're like, aki si ufunge hiyo mlango ukitoka. And then now this guy meets another person in office who has tunduma packed well in a dish and kona Stanley cup kubwa ya color pink. Why don't you think ataenda? The next thing, it will move from an office relationship to like, else. Can we go home? Can we pass by Safari Park? We do dinner. And the next thing, yata nyu meanza kuitana babe, you know. So I think when we like to appreciate our partners, these are the causes of you are looking for that thing, an extra appreciation from a different person. And you'll always have somebody ready to appreciate you.
You will.
If I don't appreciate this guy here, the next person there is very welcoming and very ready to appreciate him.
Yeah.
Oh, their beards look good.
One of the things that I find is also connected to that is lack of proper communication.
Yeah.
Because if I don't communicate that, I feel like I'm missing out on this and this in the relationship, or we started off like this and I feel like there's a change, then your partner won't really know what to work on. And that's one of the things when we go back to even the foundation of when we were talking about ukianza kujuana. Unajua, yes, we like to keep things light. Tutume memes, tucheke, but mtu akuulizi, we mental health yako iko aje? How do you take care of your mental health in this day and time? Especially when we look at last year, there was a time during the protests, I think people collectively mentally watu walikuwa wamechoka, emotionally you're drained, but if we don't check in and ask those questions and just laugh through it, then we can miss out on some of the things that are important in a relationship. And I think that can also come with emotional unavailability, because if you've not had the uncomfortable conversations, you don't feel vulnerable enough to be with someone. So how do you think we can amend that, Glantwill? How can you be vulnerable enough to be emotionally available, useme, by the way, I really care about you and I want to express how I feel?
I think it's simple and it is also hard. And this is why people in relationship, this is based off experience, by the way.
Wow.
People in relationships tend to complain 99% of the time. So the more you complain, the more you push the other person away.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing them closer, you push them away. Because even when kama hata alikuwa na surprise, alikuwa na kitu anataka kufanya, you're constantly complaining, and I feel ni kama hata I will not even do this anymore. In fact, if this person cannot see I'm trying to become better every day, instead what they're saying is they're focusing more on the things I cannot even afford to do, then that means I'm not even supposed to be there for them. So that is what will lead to that emotional unavailability. I'm ready to be emotionally available for someone who creates an environment that's I feel is safe, it's peaceful for me. That is when I'll come closer to you and allow you to be vulnerable to me. Yeah. And let me know what exactly you want me to do, and I will be able to do that. It is as simple and clear as that.
I think there is also comparison. Oh, that one did buy, the boyfriend bought her. Is it? We had a conversation of, was it Barbana? Someone wrote, was it? Was that pink car? Yeah, we all saw everyone reacting. Those who are gifted and those who are not gifted. So there was pressure on one party saying, you know what, you're not doing anything. You see your friend, he bought that thing,
Yeah.
Barnabas.
Wewe unaita that thing
Ati Bar-
45 million.
Ndio hiyo
I
sasa
know.
Barnabas.
I like the way that's my dream car. Nasikia hapa ati Barbana.
Barnabas or whatever it is. You, I know I felt bad because I could see some of our content creators,
Go through that.
though they are making it look like a prank, but there was some truth in it, saying, you hata ufiki bei, kama uwezi ni buy, why don't you do like the other person?
Yeah.
There's always
And then you
truth in their
forget
jokes.
that,
Yeah.
and then you forget that we are all blessed financially differently.
Yeah.
Today, I cannot afford a Mac, but I can afford a Honda Fit.
Yeah. But then how do you bring up those conversations, Wangari? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because you said initially, before the break, you said, mkianza ndio una bring up those conversations. But let's say you've been together na miezi zimesonga and you didn't have the serious conversations. You didn't talk about your finances, your ambitions, your dreams, your goals. So how then do you bring it up without seeming like you're trying to compare with someone? Because let's say genuinely, we una work towards buying a G-Wagon. We umeona tu yo Benz paka unajua hata bei yake. Iko kwa vision board yako. So how do you bring it up to your partner without making it seem like I'm comparing you to someone else and I need you to step up or you're not doing anything?
Well, it can start like a normal conversation or a normal question. Would you like such a vehicle?
Yeah.
This is the amount of money. For now, we have Toyota Vitz. I think I can go to the circle. I can ask for something small. Will you participate? Can we have it as probably a family car to us? I think that's the conversation.
That's how you bring it
That
up.
is how you bring it up. Say,
And
you know
you have
what,
to
I can
be-
move to Harambee Circle and say, they'll give me 2 million on your end. How much are you going to part with so that you can purchase this Mercedes that we all wish to have?
Yeah.
So
I
I think
like that,
when
and I
you
think that's
have
also
when you
going
approach
to-
things from that angle, and you two are working towards the common goal, or probably I might even start that conversation, say I'll go to Harambee Circle and have a loan and nini. Kumbe mzee hata amejipanga akona hiyo, akwambie kesho amka twende tukachukue gari, I can't finance it. Yeah, but you see, that's how you bring up that conversation.
Yeah.
Like I said, men are very fragile. They are very fragile.
You have to know how
And
to
they have
approach
an
it.
ego, imetoka hapa Timbuktu, that you have to keep on massaging.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because I have a twin brother, and to me, he's the most, I always tell him he's the
So-
love of my life. Yes.
Unona, I think that's also important because sometimes women, we don't really provide safe spaces for our men.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't make them feel like you can be vulnerable with me, you're okay to be yourself.
As a lady, can I protect my man from
Yeah.
the external embarrassment or external
Exactly.
factors?
So that's what I also
Can
want
I
to get
shield
into
him?
because Glantville, sometimes we've had this narrative, I think I've come across it so many times, where guys say women don't really offer much in relationships aside from their bodies. They're like, unachukua ati msichana ni mrembo lakini akifika kwa nyumba afanyi kitu. Juu ameweka makucha, anapakanga makeup, ako tu hapo just because of it's the body. That's the only thing men think women offer. So what do you think women need to do more? Because I think I've come across that being wanaume wakisema that's part of the reason why niliacha huyu, tuliachana juu ya hii na hii. So what do you think women can do more in terms of making you feel like I am your partner in a relationship? I'm not just a pretty person who's with you.
That's a very wow. We're having reality talks. This is nice.
Yeah.
So wow.
Nimekupata off guard.
Not even off guard. I'm just like this is nice. We're having
We're having the real
Yeah.
talk
the
now.
real talk, the real conversation. So for men, it's true. Women mostly that's how we perceive them. And I'm sorry if somebody takes offense, but that's how we perceive them. That most of them just come to look pretty, just come be pretty in the relationship, and that's all. Bring up their
Good
bodies the way you
vibes
say
and
it.
inshallah.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Men know how to look for money. If you find a man who is not looking for money or does not have money, And in this case, I'm not talking about them being rich. I'm just talking about them looking for money. Could it be little, much, a lot, and all that stuff? Men know how to look for money.
The provision part.
Yeah, the provision.
Yeah.
They know how to. Ukipata ule amekaa tu nini na nini, huyo jamaa anajua kutafuta pesa. Ni vile umemwonesha pia you can provide. So ako like, oh, so you want to be an alpha female and provide, then do it, girl. But here's the thing. So men, since we know that they know how to look for money and they can actually look for money, they want to find a woman now who can help hii pesa yenye ameleta hii. Because they will bring resources. I usually tell, even the people I date, I usually tell them, I'm a very resourceful person. When it comes to looking for the money, I know how to go for the bag. But sometimes kukaa chini to budget for this money or to think about the things we need to do,
That's where you need
that's where my mind doesn't work. I want you to come in. But if you cannot think, then unisaidii basi wewe unataka tu tufanye shopping tulete unga ije kwa nyumba. That's not what I want. So I'll obviously dump you for the next because I'm trying to, there's something I'm looking for. I can bring in the money. What can you do apart from the money? So I want you to sit down, be a woman who can ajenge nyumba yake. Because I thought when the Bible says mwanamke mzuri anajenga nyumba yake, literally that's what they meant. Like the man will bring in the resources and then you can be able to, if you cannot multiply it, then figure out how you can be able to work around with this money to make life comfortable.
I like that. I really love that because I think it trickles back to the Proverbs. Is it 31 woman? Because she knows how to manage the resources. Yes.
But again, we will be here saying, oh, she doesn't do it. Oh, she's a problem. Then we have men who have the issue. You'll find a very good, supportive woman, but boy doesn't want to be helped. Let me just give my example. I was pursuing, or he was pursuing me, and I thought I was in a relationship with him. I went outside kidogo for work, and I was so excited because I kept on texting him, telling him, you know what, Paris is beautiful. It looks like this. And take pictures and say, you know what, this is nice. And so there were these diplomatic shops there. And they said, you know what, what's your best cologne? Can I bring you? And I remember buying a Tom Ford and some very nice Nike jackets, you know, to bring back home to my boyfriend. Man, the day I landed,
I know.
the day I landed, boy, he ghosted me. With no reason, he didn't talk, he didn't say anything. I have the messages on my phone.
For how long were you away?
Wait,
I was just there for 2 weeks.
It's shy. I want us to get into that vizuri. But before that, let me read the comments. Because hapo pia,
kuna watu na
that one has.
So let me read some of the comments you guys have shared on our platforms. The question we've asked is, what are some of the signs that you can see when your relationship is just about to end? And we have Nicolas Otieno Joey, who's watching from Siaya, amesema, signs that show a relationship is about to end. They are lacking attention just like before, negative replies from partners. Sheriff for Eldoret amesema he is watching. And we have Adi Marcus amesema, when I call, she always says yes, okay, I have to ask for pics so that she sends me. Yeah. Anko Ndati amesema, dem junkie tunaendaje fa na atazimia kwa barabara. Ukweli. Nicolas Otieno ametuambia na watch tena from Siaya, thank you. Ian Movic says she really cheated on my friend and that's how it ended. Duke Elvis ametuambia financial problems with your partner. And we have Kisa Wanzila who said, if you're still talking to your ex, that is a red flag. Mzee Mwendo amesema Ndakas, he is watching us tonight. We have Kevin Lanes amesema kunipea mapenzi. Ni nini? And we have Vantoxic Bunarigena. I hope I got that name right. Amesema kanapenda mkuchu na nikash na sinanga hapo. Nikajua ni kujikata mbele mbele. Vincent Wambua ako ndani. And we have Sheriff Eldoret who's watching. Isaac Mkanda amesema walianza na babe na sai wako kwa we. Ebu kuja hapa, nikajua hapa, aiendi mbali. Kilima Mbogo niko tuned in. That's so funny. Abu Jash Kenya is tuned in. Salesio Muriki amesema nilimuita babe mbele ya watu akanishow nitumie akili Mbogi Empire Mutuati Meru is well represented. Thank you so much. And we have Kachaliwa Vasha amesema akikosa kukuitisha pesa ni Kachaliwa Vasha Kihoto. Hey, so akikosa kukuitisha inaend. Pius Opueke amesema watching from Kenyatta Farm. Thank you. Joseph Chiteri is amesema nikianza kusikia gas imeisha nibaie sapa. Sina mafuta ya kujipaka. Nimeongua nywele, nimebomoa nywele. Nataka ni unde makucha. Sasa ndo unajua inaisha ama ndo inaanza. Richie Amadi amesema ukiona tu mpoa wako anashinda kwa phone mara nyingi ama ukimcall na credit yako alafu anakushow wait kiasi hapo jipange tu manze kabla hakija kuramba. And we have Samson Chagari who said kata phone kiasi nitakukall imeenda. Vincent Ogutu amesema maongezi, so when there's a change you know it's almost done. Stepa King DC amesema nikianza kuitwa ati wewe so baby kitoka alafu ikwe wewe ama your government names. And then we have a question. We also asked, how easily can you forget a cheating partner? Na ni Khalid amesema never forgive a cheating partner, never. Sharon Kitoto amesema we forgive but we don't forget. Jennifer Wambuya amesema kufanya kosa sio kosa, kurudia kosa ndo kikosea. But watu wangumu kusamehe ni mwanamme, but wanawake huwa tunasamehe ikizidi tunajitoa. Thank you for that insight. And we have Oscar Shango who said inaisha, no fake love. Yeah. And Hespoin Moses amesema once you cheat, that's a betrayal. Then the relationship will be over because trust has gone. Dennis Monda Siasi amesema always tuned in as usual. Biggest fan. Siasi aka the humble child of God. I am enjoying the show. Thank you so much. Moses KE amesema no, because cheating is a choice. Duke Elvis amesema inafaa kuisha, no forgiveness hapo. And we have Husna Hamisi. I always give a second chance. Ukimes bas, I surrender. Bad culture says cheating is a choice, by the way. So as ni mimi ukicheat, then there is no room for anymore. Mombasa County is locked in. Thank you. Silento Classic says, yes, I will forgive, but I will just move on with my life and leave her do what makes her happy. And yeah, we have Erickson Mugo who says forgiveness is a virtue. So that's interesting. We've gotten some very interesting insights from you guys in regards to the cheating conversation and signs of a relationship ending. And I think some of the things that I've taken away before we get into the cheating, with the signs of a relationship ending, it's communication hapo ni muhimu. So communication ikichange, unaona it's almost done. Those are some of the things. But Wangari, you've told us, you are in a relationship where paka una spoil mwanaume. I feel like this is why women don't spoil men that much. Kuna mwanaume mmoja anakuonyesha shege unasema let me keep my money. No, so aka ghost. Were there any signs? Mlikuwa tu sawa manini?
Yeah.
Nini
we were very okay.
So nothing.
Very
no
okay.
sign.
Hadi nilishangaa gai. Kwani nimechange sura?
Sasa hizo vitu ulipeleka wapi? Ulipatia brother yako?
The cologne ajipaka tu. Ninukia vizuri. At least nikipata mwingine apate na nukia poa. The jacket, I think I gave one person my nduthi guy. Nikamwambia akishika hii, because you know it's bigger than me. I couldn't give it to my dad. And also my brother said, wewe hii kwanza inakaa inaweza kutoshea vizuri sana. So I gave the guy. Hey. But yeah, we were so okay. We were very fine. I remember we talked. Nikamwambia hata ninarudi. And you know what, I've gotten those, the colognes and everything. I was now taking the pictures and I like, this one looks nice. The grey one will go well with the suits. Yeah. Nini. Wow.
Like, just buy them.
Yeah.
Buy them. Hey.
My friend.
Mbona angesema
nilituma tu message, niliandika tu paragraphs kwa siku kadhaa, nilipiga tu simu.
Na hiyo perfume ikufanyangi umkumbuke?
We move on. Nililia kidogo. Yeah, nililia kidogo, but it's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think you allow them to go.
Yeah.
Maybe they were not there for the
they
purpose.
Weren't the one for
they
you.
Weren't for you. Maybe they were just there because they can see a young girl and say, ukanaweza pita tu nako.
Yeah.
But I really felt so bad.
It
By the way,
is.
heartbreak ukianza kuzeeka inakugonga.
Heartbreak ni ngumu kurecover.
No, it really felt bad. I wouldn't say it was
Come back
beautiful.
again and apologize.
I always see him viewing my status and loving and liking the status. I'm like, oh, bro, man.
Nah,
Ni
you're a
nini
weirdo.
manze?
He's
Si ume-
viewing while regretting.
Tebu, tell me, Basi, aside from that, because that's one of the instances where you don't really see a sign of, kinenda
That one, I never
kuumana.
saw it coming.
Yeah, it just finds you and ni kama umepatwa tu kwa mataa. But what are some of the things enye unaweza pinpoint is because tumesikia about communication hapo. Mwingine ametuambia hapa red flags zingine tumekuelekea wewe uko sure ati mtu akikuomba pesa huyo ni
Akikosa
relationship
kukuomba
ina
pesa.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was another one who said akikosa kukuomba pesa.
Yeah.
So what are some of the signs from the man's perspective enye unaona huyu dem huyu ashasonga?
Akikosa kukuomba pesa, that's a red flag. Cause nani anampea pesa?
So tunafaa kuomba.
Nani anampea pesa? Juwezi
But
wewe
tukiomba
unampea
pia
pesa.
si
Tena
red
tukiomba
flag.
tena ni red
yeah,
flag.
unafaa uombe tu. Omba in as much as it's a red flag.
Took
omba hiyo
urgently.
pesa. Now, let me tell you where men usually have a problem with you asking for money. We just met. Like, we just met.
Oh, yeah.
And instantly,
Yeah.
ni kama mimi ndio nilikuja gasi ishe. You know? I don't have a problem with you asking
I
me
know.
for money.
It's the timing.
It's the timing. We just met. Like, it's not even 24 hours. You want to make
But
your
I
hair.
want to know other than that
Gas
because
imeisha. I think gas is
because time yetu inaenda kuisha. I really want us to cover this aspect. What are some of the things that you can pinpoint useme huku by the way wacha nijipange tu roho yangu nianze kujisooth before kinirambe? What are some of the things that you can take note of? Let me know of that and then I'll shoot it to you. Tell me about cheating. Can you forgive cheating? Is it something that someone can come back from? So let me start with you, Glant Will.
For me, how I look at women and how I can tell. One, if you prioritize your friends over me, like all the times you want to just hang out with your girls, meaning there's something going on,
Yeah.
There's no way you're just hanging out with your girls. It's either you're hanging out with your girls who will take you to other men and you're checking out of this relationship, or I don't know, that's usually one of the signs, the fact that you're ignoring me. The fact that you're giving attention to more of your friends than me. Actually, that for me is one of the biggest deal breakers because I feel like I need to be a priority. Tell your friends, no, tonight I'm hanging out with my man, so you guys just go have your fun. But if ever at any point I realize that you're prioritizing them over me, najuanga tu hii imeshakunywa.
Hao ni wenye watakwambia sisi tutakuwa kwa wedding but wewe hatuko sure. So
that
tell
is
us
one.
about sorry, I'm really sorry. I really have to cut you short.
Fine, yeah.
Wangari, just tell us under a minute, cheating. Can you forgive cheating? Is it something that you can come back from?
No, I cannot forgive cheating because there's something that you're looking for. Probably I'm 65 kgs and you're also looking for an 85 kgs, well endowed, and probably I come from this part of Murima that it's not there.
Yeah.
So I'll feel bad. Of course, when somebody cheats on you, first thing, your esteem really goes so low because you look at yourself at the mirror and you're like, Kwani, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is when you come to realize the person that you are being cheated on with probably has a certain way she looks that you don't look like. Maybe her skin tone is different from yours. You will want to look like her so that you can bring back your man. Probably she's well endowed. You'll even start looking for things to, so that you can be looking exactly like her. The same case happens with men. Men, I think, they are cheated more because of the financial muscles. So you'll find a member of parliament who has pocketed a lot of money, and this boyfriend of yours who is just a corporate buddy, Pali Westlands. So start comparing, MP has this, and this guy of mine, no. So you'll find ladies will lean towards that end because of the financial muscles. Generally, cheating is not nice. If I'm tired, if you're tired, let's call it a quit. But don't go and come back and saying, Aki, niko na kale nimeficha na pale nyuma, or at night nakusikia kwa washroom saying, hi, it's too much. It's torture actually. It's torture on its own way. So there's no need and there's no reason for it. If you don't want me, if you're tired, let's separate amicably.
Yeah, that's so true. You've said something important. Cheating, sometimes it's a portrayal of someone looking for something that you don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to be willing to let it go. Now on that note, ushaona hii imeenda. Ishaenda ni sawa. How do you accept and move on from that? How did you accept and move on from that situation of ghosting? Just tell us briefly, under 30 seconds, how you accept the situation and move on from it.
Of course, niliandika tu paragraph kadhaa, nilipiga simu, the ones that went unanswered. Nilisikia vibaya. That's the time you are drawn closer to God. You start realizing Hillsong has a new song. You will sing word to word till the end. But in real sense, it's just a way of letting that anger and that pain go. And with the time, eventually it goes.
Yeah.
Before you realize you can sleep well without having to take capiriton. You know, yeah. And then you can go a day without looking at his profile. You can go a day without peeping and seeing, come move on, na mwingine. So time is everything, and you also trying to engage yourself in a lot of things, so that will occupy your mind, and you don't realize, oh, that boy left me. He ghosted me with my jackets and my colognes. By then ilikuwa nanuka poa, but heartbreak na ilikuwa imenichaza.
But I like that, because you have to accept and
you eventually have to accept
and
move on and look beautiful, so that you can allow another person to see you and love you.
Yeah, Glantwell, what about you? Just please, under 30 seconds.
That was sad.
I know. Kwanza hapo kwa Hillsong.
Take heart.
Yeah,
men are trash.
They can embarrass you.
Yeah, men will embarrass. They will leave you in the
they
desert.
They live in the desert without water.
That was really sad. What was I supposed to say again?
Really? Imeisha, like you really wanted someone, you've invested, but it's done, and you've seen that it's done, and you can't do anything about it. So what do you do from that point?
Put yourself together. You know, at that point, usually you want to ask yourself, what don't I do? Am I not enough? What do I need to do to be enough? Is it money? Is it how I look? Is it my performance? Is it... I mean, unaona zile vitu zote unaonanga kama ni weaknesses. Ama ni hizi masikio zangu vile zinakuanga hivi. You know, you look at you try to analyze anything that usually makes you feel bad about yourself. That's basically it. And the moment you realize that, or you put all that together, ukishajita hiyo mkutano unajiambia, there's nothing I can do, because this is how I was created, and I can't change how it is. So the best thing for me to do is to let go. Usually it's not hard, it's not easy, it's very hard. But you just have to, you just need to learn a skill on how to let it go. Of course, unalalanga hivi una imagine, oh, maybe they might change, come back. Tomorrow comes, the next day comes, they don't
put
call.
them in prayers.
Yeah.
But one thing I usually love and want people to do when they have decided to let me go, or wameniacha, don't breadcrumb me again. Like, go.
Endanga too. I like that. I think that's the best way to end that conversation. I'm sorry, time is really not on our side. This is a lengthy conversation, but just as a parting shot, kubali. Ikiwa imeisha, imeisha. Heal, find the time to heal, and then move on, find your peace. That is it for us today. It's been an amazing conversation. Definitely we need more. And please continue the conversation on our comment box. Please, endeleeni, mtuambie maoni yenyu. But for now, we'll call it a wrap. We'll see you again next week on Thursday. Between 7 and 8 we'll be live. Tomorrow we'll have a repeat of this show, and it's also going to go up on YouTube, so you can find it there. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you next week.